Hi everyone, Bren here. Welcome to this week's video, and I'm just letting you know in advance it is quite windy here today. I've managed to get most of the footage without the wind, but there are a few bits and pieces where you might hear a little bit in the background, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm excited to share the garden this week because there's a lot going on and it has been far from perfect. There's been a few issues which I'll show you, and one of them is aphids, cabbage aphids. Can you believe it? The cheek of them. We're still in winter and they're here. But I guess that's because this week in particular, the weather has warmed up so much. You can even tell it in the soil. I'll show you how you can tell that your soil temps have increased. And what else? Oh yeah, and at the end, I'm going to share with you two of my favorite summer flowering bulbs. Well, I guess if I was a bit more accurate, I would say one of them's a bulb, the other one's a corm. Anyway, you'll see a bit later. So please just sit back, relax for a few minutes, and let's get into it now. I reckon this week has marked a turning point in the weather. Although I'm aware we might experience a few more late winter, early spring cold spells, the garden's definitely displaying signs of the soil warming up due to the recent rise in temps. Like here, for example, we have some lovely green fresh shoots. This is the Peruvian lily patch, which is a wonderful cut flower. They've got really long stems and I love adding them into my flower arrangements. And when I see this new growth from the plant which was dormant during winter, to me that's a sign that the soil below is now suitable for these plants to start waking up from their cold slumber. Over here in my onion patch, there's another sign that the soil is warming up, and that's when you see seedlings appear. I'm not quite sure what plant this is, but let's just use it as an example. So what happened here in this area, I had lots of annual plants last spring, summer, and I allowed them to set seed, and they would have dropped a lot of seeds here. And those seeds, what they do is they lay dormant over winter, and once the soil gets to the right temperature for them, they start to sprout, germinate, and this is what's happening. So to me, that's another sign that we're not too far off the growing season of the warmer months. You'll also notice when you look at your soil, there'll be a lot more insect activity. I can't really see anything here at the moment, but when I was digging around this week with my shovel and I got down a little bit deeper than what I am here, I did notice there was lots of earthworms, little tiny insects and bugs. It was really nice to see. I've made a couple of mistakes this week in the garden, and I noticed one big issue I have, so let me quickly go through them with you. So here we have a Romanesco broccoli, which was a lovely tight head last week. I almost showed it to you, but I said to myself, I'll wait another week and wait for it to grow a bit more, and I regret that now because it's no longer a tight head. You can see it's quite loose. That's a sign that it's going to start flowering and setting seed, and really you need to harvest it before it gets to this stage. Although this is still perfectly edible, it just doesn't look as beautiful. The second mistake I made is over here in the container garden, and I only noticed it because we got quite a bit of rain this week. So I'm always going on about containers and making sure they have drainage holes, and sometimes I wish I'd listened to my own little tips and advice, because look what I've done down here. I forgot to put holes in this one. Here we have, I think these are the freesias, yeah, beautiful scented freesias, and they are drowning. Look at all that water. It's because I never put any drainage holes in it, so I need to come in here now and put a couple of holes and let all that water drain out, and hopefully these plants will be okay. Lucky I noticed it on time, but geez, can you imagine if I went away on holidays or something and came back? I reckon these would have all rotted. And then over here, this is a very common gardener's problem at this time of year. I have the Brussels sprouts plants, and yeah, I think they're almost on every single plant. Look at that. Can you see them? Let me take one of these off and see if you can spot what's on them. Ugh. See all those little grey things? They're cabbage aphids. Aren't they really gross? Oh, there's loads of them there having a party. What happens is aphid eggs lie dormant in the soil over winter, and then they hatch and they take over your plants like this. These particular aphids are the cabbage aphids, so I think they're attracted to any of the brassicas. And oh my goodness, there's an infestation of them. Now there's a few things I can do here, a few options when dealing with aphids. One being, preventing it getting this bad. So what I probably should have done was kept a better eye on my plants, and once I started to see signs of the aphids appearing, I could come in here and hand pick them or blast them off with a hose. Like, oh my, look at that. How disgusting. The other thing is you can spray them with organic, I think it's neem oil. I did buy it one year, but I don't tend to use it that much. And then a lot of people just like to leave them and wait for the ladybugs to arrive, because the larvae of the ladybugs absolutely adore aphids and they will just ravage these. But I don't know what to do. I think I'll actually come in with a hose and try and blast them off. That should probably work. But you know what, they're really at the stage now where I can pick them anyway. Maybe just harvest them all and put them in water, and that will rinse off these little creatures. Oh, here I have 2 boxes of summer flowering bulbs which arrived over the last couple of weeks. These ones are lilies or liliums, and in here we've got gladioli. Got these lilies for a real bargain, so it looks like quite a lot, but I do have a small business where I sell my cut flowers. So here there's like 200 bulbs, and I got all of these, I think it was around $100, so it works out quite reasonable at 50 cents each. I don't know why I paused there for a sec. Couldn't do the calculation. There are so many different species of lilies which come in different colors, shapes and sizes. I really love using these cut flowers in my bouquets, but I am very conscious that they can be toxic to cats. So when I'm arranging my bouquets, when it's lily season, when these are all budding up and in bloom, I make sure to include a few bunches that don't have these beautiful blooms. Now, lilies grow great in well-drained soil with lots of sunlight, and they're so versatile in the garden, with many species growing well in pots and in ground. Lilies are often associated with different symbolic meanings. I know, for example, that they're often used in arrangements at funerals, but they can also be used in celebrations. They are a symbol of purity, renewal and devotion. Oh, I just love growing them. So joyful watching them flower in summertime. Moving on now to the box of gladioli corms, and these are often known as sword lilies with their tall, elegant spikes. They come in a wide range of vibrant colours such as yellow, orange, purple, white and pink. I'm really particularly fond of the bicolour varieties. They are just so eye-catching. Now, gladioli have a really long vase life, lasting up to about 2 weeks if you replenish the water in your vase on a regular basis. A must-grow cut flower in my garden. I just love these. Well, I think I better head off before I blow away. This gale is fierce. I don't know where it came from. We usually get warnings when the wind picks up like this, but I don't remember seeing anything about this kind of weather condition. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week ahead, and I'll see you again next Friday.